Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be reviewing the new Honda Pilot Black Edition. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Stockton 12 Honda here in Utah for giving me some time with this Pilot. This particular one is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 285 horsepower and then 262 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, first off, I love this red paint color. It really pops on the Pilot. And you can see with the headlight bezel, it's kind of like darker with the background. That's pretty cool looking. The grille's been blacked out. Got the Black Edition badge there as well. You can see this trim off to the sides also blacked out. We do have fog lights at the bottom. But yeah, putting it all together, the contrast with the black and the red looks good. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255, 50, 20 in the front and in the rear. You can see with the wheels completely blacked out, hence the Black Edition package. And then you got the fender flares and the rest of the bodywork there continues. You can see the mirror caps also blacked out, same thing with the window trim. And then here's the side profile with the Pilot. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function, remote start, we got the opening for the hatch, and then we have the Honda logo on the back. Now taking a look at the cargo area, first off you guys can see we've got a little bit of storage space behind the third row. If you want more, just throw the third row down. We have this little button here to close it from the inside. Got a little 12 volt there as well. And I'll actually throw down this seat quickly. So you can see we've got a USB there in the back. We also have a little vent in the back as well. And when it comes to space in the third row, you can see the legroom right there. It's okay. Again, kind of reserved for kids. And then because of the boxy design, you do get decent headroom in the back. And then there's another button to close it right here. So they kind of doubled down on the buttons. Of course, got another Black Edition badge, and then notice Pilot and all of that's all blacked out, except for the Honda logo. Still chrome. And then look at the taillight design here. Parking sensors at the bottom. So putting it all together, I think it's a sharp looking Pilot. Now popping inside, we've got a sunshade for the rear passengers, and then I like this trim that goes across. It's pretty cool looking. And then we got red stitching with the Black Edition, which is another nice feature. Tons of storage in the door panel. And then we've got more of that red stitching. You can see red perforations there, and then all of your adjustments. Legroom here in the back is pretty solid. Got a little storage pocket there. Look at the red stitching too. We've got our vents here in the back. We also have our own climate zone, heated seats, got some charging ports on top of that. And then headroom, it's good. Now take a look at the front door panel. Again, soft touch here and then down below with the red stitching. All of our window controls. Got our mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in. Got memory seats. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then the front seat, power adjustable. Black Edition there on the headrest. And then again, with the red perforations all down the center. And then we've got this to open up the hatch. Stability control. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. And then the dash itself, it's nice soft touch trim all across. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got soft touch trim all around. Red stitching there. Here's a kind of closer look at that. You've got practical controls in the front like your volume, voice command controls, adaptive cruise control with the steering assist, paddle shifters as well for the 10-speed, and you got your stocks on the back. And then this is cool with the gauge cluster. Look at that, like with the RPMs for example. I think that's kind of fun with how that looks, but you can see information on the Pilot as well. And then we do have our drive modes here as well. A million different drive modes just like other Pilots. You can see in reverse, you got the backup camera, trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel, solid resolution overall. And then as for the infotainment system, it's Honda's newer unit, so quick response time. Look at that. And then we've got physical buttons as well, which just add to the user friendliness. So down below, we've got our dual zone climate controls, heated and ventilated seats, also climate zone for the rear you can control from up here. A little kind of charging area with our wireless phone charging pad. Some cup holders, and then we have our buttons for the transmission select. Drive mode select down below. And then you can see with the auto stop start and then the hill descent control, parking brake, brake hold. Big center console. And more of that red stitching, and then that continues across the dash with the red. Storage above the glove box. And then, pretty good. And then we do have our controls here for the panoramic sunroof. Yeah, here's a look at the window sticker, 2025 Pilot Black Edition. Total MSRP $56,130. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, and you can see the heads-up display. Both mirrors do have blind spot ring. And also we'll fix that mirror there on the side. There we go. So, Pilot Black Edition. Basically an Elite, but cool looking. That's kind of what the Pilot Black Edition is. So first off, I will say, the controls in the Honda Pilot, it's all really easy to use. Like, the learning curve is very small. Sometimes I get in a car, and I review cars for a living, right? Sometimes I get into cars and it's like trying to, just what I just did there, adjust the mirror and then adjust the climate control. Sometimes it's like, takes a second to figure it all out. Whereas with this, not at all. It was just like, boom. It kind of like comes naturally. It's very, very intuitive, so I like that. I definitely like that. Nice with the V6. And yeah, V6, right? In a world where everyone's doing turbo 4 cylinders, Honda still gives us a naturally aspirated V6. No turbos. It does have auto stop start, but you can turn it off. Steering's nice and light, but direct. It's a comfortable car. Generally speaking, it drives well. Pretty well insulated cabin too, for what it is. Can't really tell you guys on wind noise too much, but it seems like the road noise is not too bad. It's not a windy enough day for me to be able to tell at low speeds with the wind noise. But it is still windy. This area here always gets gusts. But get up and get moving here a little bit. Transmission's pretty responsive too. I'm gonna pop it into the sport mode. Can't believe it's 80 degrees already. Oof. And punch it. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. For what it is, again, the segment it competes in and all that. Not bad at all. So, to sum things up with the Honda Pilot Black Edition, I think this was a smart move by Honda because there's a lot of people that want the Elite features. They don't really want like a chrome, you know, luxury kind of looking car. They want something sporty looking. And that's what this provides. So, again, that's the way I'd look at this. Is it's an Elite, but a sporty looking Elite. And I think overall it looks good. The one thing that I will say that Honda's missing in their lineup now is a, you know, quote unquote premium off-roader. You know, so basically an Elite, but then do it on the Trail Sport package. Now, I don't think Honda's going to do that. It doesn't seem like that's kind of their goal with the Trail Sport, but I think it could sell. I think it could sell. But also, I do think it's a little bit gimmicky doing off-road packages in this segment because, you know, ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a unibody SUV, independent suspension. Yeah, it can off-road, but it's not, this isn't like the traditional off-road setup, you know, ladder frame, body on frame, all of that. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about the Honda Pilot Black Edition.